4, 3, 2.
Okay, welcome back to Midwest Speedfest. We have our next run is all set up. We've got Silent Hill Homecoming here by Shmumbler. I did go ahead and close the costume bid war choice, and the winner was by a landslide the invisible costume. Take it away.
Alright, so like they said, I'm Shmumbler. I am the current world record holder for this category, and you're about to see some wild stuff. So you might have seen the All Bosses run Starwind did during Calithon. All of that stuff outdated already. We've had a lot of new tech come in, so I'm excited to show it off. We'll go ahead and start time when I do my first input. So if you're ready, I'll count down. So 3, 2, 1, and go. So yeah, anyone who hasn't seen or played Homecoming, it's not the greatest game in the world, but it definitely has a lot of really interesting stuff for the speedrunning. This is going to be a fairly straightforward section of the game since we don't have access to any weapons other than our knife, and so we can't really do any clipping. So for the most part, I'm just going to be walking around. I got a little bit of time saved just on the optimized movement, but not a whole lot. So the general story for this game: we are Alex. We think we're a soldier. Not really the case. Turns out we accidentally killed this little kid that we're chasing after. And so we ended up going to the psych hospital. Turns out we made a huge mess of everything. Our parents come from a line that originally came from the original Silent Hill, but they wanted to move away. And so to do so, they made a deal with the gods of Silent Hill that they would make a sacrifice of a child from each of the 4 main families every 50 years in order to appease the gods and make sure that they were safe. Unfortunately, Alex was the one who was supposed to die, and he screwed all of that up, so hence all of this. The one bit of tech that we really have in this section of the game is coming up here in just a little bit. It's something that I actually initially found just about 2 months ago. So we're gonna get attacked by a swarm of bugs here. Hopefully one of them will attach themselves to my face, and you'll see why that's important in just a minute. Looks like no dice. Yep. Okay, so there we go. Never had it happen that late, but that's good. So what the bug does is normally there's a drop down animation from that ledge that takes about 5 seconds. What you just saw right there is the bug has a QuickTime event associated with it that allows us to overwrite the animation for dropping from the ledge. And instead, we just teleport to the bottom of the floor and go straight into a roll dodge. That saves about 5 seconds, so nothing really significant. It's just a nice little bonus that you can get every now and then. But it's the only thing that you can really do in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Someone brought me here. They told me Robbie was here. They lied.
Yeah, so thank you everybody for your donations. Unfortunately, Alex couldn't make it, so we just decided to string up a gun and some knives with his, in his place. And this will be most of the run. There is one point where we will have a mandatory costume change, but it changes right back into the invisibility mode. Or, I shouldn't really say mode. It's actually a glitch. But it's a glitch that stays regardless of loading screens, new games, anything other than just completely closing and restarting the game. Got a little cameo in the mirror there, though, in case anybody missed him. Alright, so we can dodge between those little vent chutes right there. That prevents another set of bugs from spawning here. Doesn't really save any time, but those bugs are just really annoying in general. And now we're coming up to the end of the hospital section. At this point, we've got probably 1.5 to 2 minutes of unskippable cutscene. So if we have any donations, this would be a perfect point.
Perfect. We do have a $30 anonymous donation. Thank you very much. And I would like to plug the ending bid war for this very game. There are 3 options. We've got the Boogeyman ending, the Drowning ending, and the UFO ending. Currently, the UFO ending is still sitting unopposed with $40.
All right. So there's actually 5 endings for this game. Unfortunately, 2 of those endings require you to forgive your father, but we don't even meet our father, so that flag stays set to not forgiving him by default. To be fair, he's not the best guy anyway. He was going to drown us in a tub.
So is that the Drowning ending?
It is. Shoutouts to Travis Grady from Origins, the one Silent Hill game I never finished. Alright, so this cutscene should be ending here in just a couple seconds, and then we'll actually get to the fun part of the run. And by fun part, I mean probably the hardest clip in the run. Which it's nice to have it so early. Alright, first minute or so we're just going to be walking, but then we're going to grab the laser pistol, which is a New Game Plus exclusive weapon. You only get it once you get the UFO ending for the first time. And having that pistol will let us start clipping all over the place. We're going to just immediately use it to skip 2 boss fights and roughly 2/3 of the game. Oh, okay. Didn't get the pause screen there. Every now and then, no reason why, just when you press start to skip the cutscene, sometimes it'll open up the pause menu afterwards.
Hello?
Nice little random time loss you can get. Always appreciated. Love this game. And here we go. So this door, we can go through it on its own if we were to have the shotgun using the new clipping method. Unfortunately we don't, so we have to do this method where we squeeze through like a 2-pixel gap between the door and the frame. That actually went really well. This is like the biggest reset point in the entire game. A lot of times, if you don't get that right away, you'll end up spending like 2 or 3 minutes trying to get through there. So really glad that went smoothly. And then do Homecoming's favorite puzzle. If you do this game casually, there's actually several of these sliding puzzles. They are the worst because this game is notorious for dropping your inputs. That can also happen at the keypad at the start of the game. I've lost so much time to that keypad. I've actually had one run where I lost 30 seconds just trying to press the A button. And this clip is giving me quite a bit of trouble. So what we're doing here we're trying to get back downstairs. So we're trying to squeeze ourselves into the ceiling here and getting it to push us through the floor just like that. And that is 2/3 of the game. So now we are in the Nightmare House, which usually takes place several hours into the game. At this point, we should have already figured out most of what's going on here. We're going to try to escape this place and get on our way to Silent Hill proper to try to save our girlfriend that we haven't met. So this has a whole bunch of clips that you're watching. Honestly, explaining them takes way more time than it does to actually do them. But basically the general gist of it is, if I have the shotgun out and I switch to the pistol while aiming, it gives you the shotgun aiming animation with the pistol and allows your hitbox to go flying forwards. And this is the only clipping method of the game that allows us to go through semi-permanent objects like doors and gates, anything that has physics attached to it. It's a lot easier to perform and a lot more consistent than clipping with the pistol. Unfortunately, it's also just a tad bit slower than the pistol clipping compared to if you get the pistol clipping first try. So while we do the shotgun swap method, most of the time there will still be some times where I just use the pistol. And now, since we're back in the attic, we could go through this little corner underneath the ceiling again, have it pop us through the floor. But it's actually a little bit faster to come over to these pipes and just clip through them. The floor underneath them doesn't have any collision, and that just drops us straight onto the stairs. So there is theoretically a way to do this entire section without ever pulling this lever and opening the doors. And that would save probably about a minute to 2 minutes. However, the problem with that is when those doors are not open, the area past them doesn't load, which is not that bad of a thing. You can still perform most of the clips, no problem. But it increases the likelihood of the game crashing by a lot. There's actually been a lot of times where I've just been messing around trying to figure out how to get it to work. Every time I go into the attic without opening that door, the game just crashes as soon as I jump over the pipes.
They got a second here for me to pop in with a donation?
Yeah, go ahead.
We have a $50 donation from EBD03 with the comment of great runner, wishing you luck on pillar climbs, church skips.
That's funny. Pillar climb is notoriously one of the big run killers for the game. We actually don't do it anymore. We found a couple alternative ways to get through that area, so you'll get to see that coming up.
I was really hoping the answer was these are skips we don't do anymore.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, this game has come a long way in the past just month. Even the past couple weeks. It's been absolutely insane seeing how quickly we've brought this game down. Especially considering how old it is at this point. I mean, this game came out in 2008. Alright. So now we're on our way to Silent Hill. And just like our first nightmare sequence, we're gonna have a little while. These cutscenes can be skipped, except for this very first one here, but it's not too long. But we do have about a minute and a half of walking just to get to our next clip. Not a whole lot going on. We do get to see our first glimpse of Deputy Wheeler, though. He's going to be driving the boat to get us across Toluca Lake, and then we're not going to see him the rest of the run, pretty much. We actually used to save him in the prison. We'd have to go all the way around, save him. He'd help us open up all the gates. We can just go through the gates. So, yeah, we just leave him in the prison to rot. Fun. Sorry, but not. We do still get to save him at the end, though, depending on the ending.
Speaking of the ending, it's still looking like UFOs. $40 for UFOs. Nobody wants to see drowning. Nobody wants to see the boogeyman. Come on.
So that just tells me that everybody wants Wheeler to live, because that's the only ending choice where I can let Wheeler live. Come on, do you all really like Wheeler that much? I don't. I leave him in the prison cell.
You say Wheeler, and all I can think of is Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh god. I could do a terrible Brooklyn accent. I'm not going to. I'm not putting anyone through that. I guess technically you do get to hear Wheeler right here.
Wheeler,
Right before I cut him off, just like the very rude person I am. And then finally we're coming up on another skip. So to get into the prison, you have to go all the way through the streets, figure out a way to shut off the power because the gate for the prison is locked and electrified, I think, for some reason. Oop, messed that up. But this nice little divider right here lets me right through, and I can just go in the back door. So yeah, we probably have about less than a minute to go before I'll need to know what to do for the ending choice.
You heard him, folks. We got running out of time if you want to snipe that incentive.
This is probably the most impressive part of the run, too, at this point. I'll actually be grabbing this map just to keep things safe because it can go bad. I don't think I'll need it, though. I hate this gate. It always stops me at first. Don't really know why, it's just a lot more temperamental than all the other gates. But now we are in an unloaded area. We're gonna navigate this mostly blind. Do a clip through a gate right here that we can't see. Do a clip through another gate here that we can't see. And now we're out of bounds on top of a tunnel. Gonna back up as far as we can, pull up our pistol, move to the left, try to jam ourselves into the ground as much as we can. That'll load the zone because it thinks we're back in bounds, and can't get the cutscene trigger. There we go. And here's where I need to know what ending we're going for.
I got one more quick review. We're going with UFOs.
All right. Sorry, Mom. I can't. So what happens here is our mom is tied to a rack. And we have the option to either shoot her or let the torture device kill her instead. We just opted to let her die slow and torturously. Congratulations, everyone. You're all murderers. But we do get to save Wheeler, so I guess there's that. Oh yeah, another thing. So, I've made this mistake at this point way too often. If you press start right before you start a skippable cutscene, you will actually lock yourself into that cutscene. Anytime you try to skip, it'll still fade to black like it's trying to skip, and then it'll just resume the cutscene anyway. I actually did that on one cutscene in my world record run. Thankfully, it was only like a 15-second cutscene. So Wheeler's trying to help us out here. We gotta kill these guys to open the next door. Technically, I could just phase through it, but killing those guys quickly opens it just a little bit faster. And we're going to see our first boss battle. This is Asphyxia, or as anybody who has seen this game will call it, the Human Centipede. That's a bit of a misnomer. Surprise, surprise. Homecoming actually came out a year before the Human Centipede. So this is actually an original idea. When I first played this game, I had no idea that that was the case. I always just assumed that Asphyxia was a ripoff. But nope. Konami did it first. Oh, Climax did it first. Alright, and there you didn't really get to see it, but there's a spot in between the two cutscenes where you can actually roll forward, and that pushes you forward just a little bit when you load in here. It's a free time save, but it's only like maybe a frame or two. And coming into church here, this used to be the #1 run killer. There's a series of 3 clips here, and they used to just be terrible. But thanks to Wildest, a fairly new member of our community, we now know we don't have to go through any walls for this first one, we can just climb the bench. The second one, instead of going through a series of 2 walls, we can just go through the gate. And then for the third one, which was the absolute worst in this area, we still pretty much do the same thing, but whereas we would pistol strafe here, we now know that we can just shotgun swap, get on top of the table, and force our way through. Pistol strafing here, you could either get it right away or waste like 2 or 3 minutes here. So the estimate for this game, I had it set as 40 minutes, because I submitted this before any of this new tech got found. I used to finish the average run in about 32, 33 minutes, and would finish anywhere up to like 38 minutes. Now, an average run I would say is about 25 minutes, and worst case, I'll finish in 27, 30-ish, 28. It's a huge difference. In fact, we're actually coming up on the last area of the game. You guys are about to meet my favorite lady of the game, Judge Holloway. She's kind of the mastermind behind the Order sect of Shepherd's Glen. And she's not very happy with us for messing everything up. So she's going to take things into her own hand, and that would be my leg she's drilling into. You just can't see it. Thankfully, Alex is MIA, so we don't have to worry about any tissue damage. We're just going to shake it off and run forward like normal.
Bitch. It's finished.
One of the big questions I'll get a lot on this segment is, why don't you just clip where you need to go? Well, we actually don't have any of our stuff. It all got taken from us. So right now, all I have is this dagger. I'm about to grab a pistol. And then this is coming up where we used to do the pillar climb. I am so glad that is gone. Alright, did pretty good with the shots there. I have just enough bullets for this to kill each member except for one. That one gets a headshot and 1 knife combo. If you just knife an enemy, it takes 3.5 combos to kill them. So we would normally try to clip into this pillar and force our way into the ceiling. Don't have to do that anymore. Now, see if I can get this angle right. We can just phase through this wall. That looks perfect. Wow. Okay, and we're through. Goodbye, pillar. Now we just force a way through here. You all want to see the UFO ending, so here's Wheeler. You can't see him, but we're going to save him by giving him a med kit.
Got a second for a donation?
Absolutely.
We have $10 from Starwin with the comment of, "Hey Shmumbler, been great having you as part of the community and all the lab work you've done for Homecoming. Good luck on the run."
Thank you, Starwin. Starwin is an absolute machine. He used to be the world record runner for this category. He still is for several others. Oh, right. Casual final door skip there. That used to be easily the hardest clip of the game. It is completely trivial now with the shotgun swapping. But this is the final boss fight. Time is actually going to be coming up when I hit the final QTE. Probably here in about 5 seconds. So I'll get 2 shots, run up, and hit X. There's 1. And 2. And time. So yeah, that was about 25 and a half minutes, right?
It looks like about 25. I think it was about 25 flat.
Okay.
Our restreamer was off doing some setup stuff for the next run.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's actually really good. That would qualify for a second place time right now. But yeah, this is actually a really fun speed game. As terrible as the game might be casually, I strongly encourage anybody interested to hit us up over on the Silent Hill Speedrunning Discord that you can find on speedrun.com. If anybody needs any help learning this game, I am all about it. This game has had a huge surge in popularity, and I would love to keep that community going. But until I see you guys again, enjoy your UFO ending. During the ending cutscene, so it's gonna look a little weird.
That's where they've been taking everybody. I knew it!
Alright, that's it. Thank you guys for having me here. This has been an incredible experience, and I am so excited to see all the other runs coming up. But you guys